What is up, everybody? It's the Oracle in Motion here with a New Year's reading for my Tauruses. So, Tauruses, Happy New Year's to y'all. Your Oracle card for the year is fertility, and I don't want y'all to think that it means having babies. I mean, it could for some of y'all, but I think more so what it means is fertility of opportunities and possibilities. So, there's a lot of yellow in this card, which is relative to navel chakra, sense of self. There's also tinges of green in this, which is relative to heart chakra, so that's kind of connection and unity. There's also a lot of nature elements in there, so it's kind of saying that there's a lot of possibilities for all sorts of things. There's also a lot of eyes in the clouds in this card. Um, yeah, you don't even know what's possible for you in this year. What you want to achieve this year can happen if you're willing to do the footwork to create it and have some patience. The other thing that comes up is this sigil that I made for you, which is possibilities. It's to remind you that there's a lot of possibilities coming up for you in the new year if you're conscious of it and willing to do the work to achieve them. So I'm going to shuffle some cards for you, and as I'm shuffling them, I'm just going to say, if you haven't already, like this video, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, check out the description below. You can find a link to the podcast version of this, so if you want a tarot reading on the go, you can check that out there. You can also donate or get your own personal reading. I have a bunch of information on how to connect with me in other ways in the description. And with that, we will get into your first card. Where can you benefit? So you can benefit by kind of having this Ten of Bows experience. So bows is relative to swords in traditional tarot. Swords are about thought and thinking. So you can benefit from kind of having this jarring experience that kind of exposes the illogic of some of your thinking. And for me, 9/10 of the good things that have come from my life have been from having this quote unquote fall from grace and recognizing that I don't always see things properly. I don't know the ultimate truth sometimes. And many times it's my coping mechanisms and desire to tune out reality that's coming through. And that's something that prohibits me from getting the best life experience. So you can benefit from kind of getting honest with yourself and opening up the opportunity and the possibility for new things to grow by realizing how much you're shortchanging yourself. So the next thing, what do you need to think about? You have the 3, which is like this goddess card. And this is this is like the Empress. It's about connecting with your inner light. There's a lot of green in there, so it's like honoring your heart, giving homage to your heart. There's this green serpent there, which is connecting with heart-centered wisdom. There's a lot of things that can grow when you follow this heart-centered wisdom. I've heard it said that the journey from the head to the heart is the longest journey one person can take, but that's where you need to be going in the upcoming year. The other element of this is these white animals, where there is this purity in the animal instinct. Sometimes we get trapped in this concept that being in an animal state of mind is impure. Actually, animals don't have a lot of the neurotic tendencies we do. There's a lot of good things in that kind of animal mind that we can tap into. So with this High Priestess card, it's about kind of the fertility of honoring yourself on a deep level. But first you have to lose your illusions and get in deep contact with yourself, and then all of these possibilities open up. So what do you need to do? The Fool card comes up. You need to take a risk, begin a new journey, jump from the mountaintop. And it's interesting, you have these two kind of cards that evoke senses of falling, or this fall from grace. So it's kind of like becoming destabilized from this earthly attachment. And that's something that's going to really help you, but it's also something that might be incredibly unpleasant if you look at the 10 of bows. The other element of the Fool card is it's a very good representation of fertility. The 0 on it is a reflection of the cosmic egg, and it really is kind of about the infinite possibilities that exist in a situation. You have to be willing to take the plunge, is the main thing that comes up in that. And then here comes your challenge card. So the challenge card is the 9 of stones. Stones is relative to cups in traditional tarot. Cups is relative to water. So water is relative to emotions. This is really about getting into this connection with your emotions, letting your emotions flow in a more natural space. Because part of this 10 of bows that I'm kind of getting where you can benefit is oftentimes we'll tell ourselves we're okay and we've created these masks for dealing with our emotions, but we never really look at them in a realistic light, so we can't see them on this deep level. So with the 9 of stones, you're going to be sitting there processing everything and then also learning how to connect with it. The other element of this 9 of stones, again, is this person is levitating off of the ground. So the main thing you have to work on doing is separating yourself from this deep addiction to the material world, which might be difficult. The other thing that really comes up in here is kind of this balance that's suggested in some of this. You have to strive for a balance within everything. One of the things that's coming up in this as well, there's these shades of blue in the Fool and the 9 of stones, which is really about getting a better level of communication. Communicating with yourself is what I would really take that as, and communicating with others. But all of these cards are really the individual, maybe with some kind of animal more than anything. And that's something that you also need to consider. Maybe you need some more separation from society in this upcoming year to reflect on your inner work. There's also these elements of purple that come up in the 0 in the 9 of stones. Purple is relative to the crown chakra, which is all about connecting with spirit. So you need to do, again, some more spirit work. And another interesting element of this 9 is kind of the end of the cycle, and 0 is kind of the beginning of it. So the challenge is coming to the end of this cycle. 0 is the beginning. Oh, the other interesting thing about this, your very first card, where can you benefit? 1 and 0. That's kind of, if you reduce it down to 1, that's the Magician. So after this fall, you kind of, after the fall and processing the Fool, you become the Magician. That's interesting. Sorry, I'm tripping out on the numerology here and getting sucked into it. The other element of looking at the 10 and the 3 here is there's this orange and yellow kind of in both cards. So orange is about sexual or creative energy. So maybe the thing that you can benefit from is kind of creating this situation where you fall and lose the sense of yourself. And then you need to think about honoring yourself and your creativity after this fact. Maybe it's the fact that you haven't been consciously using your creative energy and sense of self in the right ways. The main thing, though, is this year is fertile for you to take back your power, get things in control, and there's an abundance of possibilities. I hope y'all have a very, very happy new year, Tauruses. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, check out the Tarot Cast, Tarot to Go on your podcasting platform of choice. Review on iTunes, all that good stuff. Leave me a comment in the video. Check out the description, book a reading, all that kind of stuff. Stay blessed.